Maleficent, dark fairy cursebringer and mistress of all evil. Jafar, Agrabah's royal vizier and the world's most powerful sorcerer. No story is complete without a good villain, and these two are exemplars of that very fact, right from the fairy tales of yore. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick, and it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. In a world of magic and wonder, perhaps there were no greater wielders of the arcane than the fairies. And among the fairies, one stood out, a true prodigy who had shown time and time again she knew everything they did and then some. Everything but love, joy. For this fairy was dark, twisted, a bringer of only evil and harm. This fairy was Maleficent, and the world knew it. For without proper honor and tribute to her might, everyone would pay dearly for thinking they could ignore her. Such a mistake would befall an ignorant royal family one year, as they invited all the kingdom to a grand ball to celebrate the birth of their daughter Aurora. Everyone but Maleficent. That would do anything but stop her from attending, though. Appearing in a blaze of emerald flame, Maleficent would make her presence known, her composer masking her rage at being uninvited. Out of sheer spite, she would bestow a gift to the child. Yeah, that's one way to put it. The princess would indeed grow in grace and beauty, beloved by all who adored her. But before the sun set on her 16th birthday, she would prick her finger on the spindle of a spinning wheel and die. Wait, she did that to a newborn just for not being invited to a party? Well, frankly, she probably did it just because she felt like it. Even if she had been invited, she probably would have done the same thing, with the excuse just being the kingdom's audacity at thinking she needed an invite or something. Well, either way, even the other fairies couldn't break this curse. Only Ultimate would instead put Aurora into a deep sleep until she received true love's kiss. Yeah, Maleficent's magic is seriously impressive. She can bestow powerful curses and blessings on people that can only be broken by magic even more powerful than her own. Hell, even she can't break her own curses, and she's ridiculously hard to actually kill. She can heal injuries, reattach whole lost limbs, and even reform herself after being burnt to ashes. And if all else fails, her trusty raven familiar Diablo can shatter the orb on her staff, which contains enough of her essence to reform entirely regardless of how she was killed. Though this seems to be a one-time thing. She can fly, move objects with her mind, and harness the elements themselves to control fire, lightning, and more. She can create storms, and even this huge city-spanning bramble of indestructible thorns. Forget city-spanning, she can create them around a whole kingdom. Causing that much plant growth would take almost 90 megatons of TNT worth of energy. She can polymorph herself and others, teleport, control minds, create objects, make things disappear, scry on people, fire blasts of energy, put people to sleep, change her size, and basically anything else you can think of. The only thing that can stop her spells is a solar eclipse, which prevents any fairy from using their magic. And if all else fails, she can assume the form of a titanic fire-breathing dragon. The king thought the best way to circumvent her curse would be to destroy every spinning wheel in the kingdom, and even that couldn't stop her. She's so hell-bent on her destruction, the fairies even considered options as drastic as turning Aurora into a flower, which they only discarded because they knew if they did that, Maleficent would freeze the kingdom in frost. With her magic, she can contend with people like Prince Philip, who could dodge lightning strikes of a Mach 250. Though, with the aid of the fairies and his magically enchanted sword, Philip would finally slay Maleficent, and deliver the kiss of true love that would reawaken Aurora from her curse. But make no mistake, evil lives on. Maleficent is more than a fairy. She is evil itself, the embodiment of darkness and a taint on the world. Even with her gone, there will always be a shadow in the heart of the world, a stain ever growing with or without her. No rhyme, no reason or motive, just pure, unadulterated depravity. Maleficent or not, there will always be dread on the horizon, and there will never be a true happily ever after.
No, it cannot be! Now shall you deal with me, O Prince, and all the powers of hell!
Imagine a land. It's a faraway place, with a caravan camels roam. Where you wander among every culture and tongue. It's chaotic, but hey, it's home. Smack dab in the heart of the Arabian desert, it's a glittering jewel in the sand. The city of Agrabah. And looming above the bustling market streets is the Grand Palace, where the Sultan rules from. Helping him through this leadership, of course, is his trusty vizier, Jafar. Oh, sorry, did we say trusty? We meant shady. Really shady. Yeah, it doesn't take a genius to see who really wields the power behind the throne. The only reason the Sultan didn't catch on was because Jafar was actively brainwashing him. Jafar was tired of being only second-rate, and yearned to wield the title of Sultan himself. And so, he hatched a plan. Aided by his parrot companion Iago, he sought out the Cave of Wonders, rumored to contain a mystical genie lamp, which Jafar could use to bring his wishes to fruition. Unfortunately, only a diamond in the rough could enter the cave. A diamond in the rough who Jafar would soon uncover the identity of. A common thief by the name of Aladdin. So, a little scheming later, Jafar got his hands on the boy, and enlisted him to recover the lamp for him. It failed, and both Aladdin and the lamp ended up seemingly trapped in the cave. So, Jafar pivoted to trying to marry nobilities to the Sultan's daughter, Jasmine. The Sultan's underage daughter, Jasmine. Ew. Some hypnotizing of the Sultan later, and Jafar was good to go, until a mysterious new suitor rolled into town. Prince Ali, who Jafar coined as that street rat Aladdin he left to die in the cave, saved by the very genie he sought. Initially outraged, Jafar would spin this to his advantage, taking the lamp for himself. And with that, he would make his wish, to be the most powerful sorcerer in the world. And the genie, whether he wanted to or not, had to oblige. Jafar was now a true force to be reckoned with. He could shoot blasts of magical flame, shapeshift, turn people into objects of other beings, conjure items out of thin air, and more. He was powerful enough to conjure this massive storm over Agrabah, requiring over 120 kilotons of TNT worth of energy. He could also send a castle spire rocketing to the Arctic, and then shoot down the flying carpet carrying Aladdin after it flew back at Mach 25. But despite all this power, it wasn't enough, something that Aladdin could exploit. He would trick Jafar into wishing to be a genie, and while it did grant him phenomenal cosmic power, it also cursed him to an itty-bitty living space. Jafar would be sealed in a lamp of his own, trapped for 10,000 years. Or so it would seem. Turns out, a bumbling thief would set him free, and just like with the Sultan, it was very clear who the real master of this dynamic was. Jafar, now with all the powers of a genie, would return to exact revenge on Aladdin. Though it was trickier than you might think, given genies can't actually kill, not directly anyways. Still, with the universe at his fingertips, Jafar could get creative. He can rewrite reality with a whim, and as long as he doesn't directly cause death, it's fair game. For example, he can't make you drop dead or blast you apart, but he can make a mild deep pit of lava appear under you. The only way to truly defeat him is to destroy his lamp, and he'll go down with it. And, unfortunately for Jafar, this is exactly what would happen. With his lamp plunging into lava below and him powerless to stop it, he would be erased, once and for all. And Agrabah would know peace, relatively speaking. Action and adventure would always be around the corner, but the threat of Jafar was gone. Probably. Well, they thought that last time, and look what that got them. Hey, not like he can come back from this, even if he's friends with the god of the dead. Yeah, still though, that shadow doubt will always be cast. Each grain of sand in the hourglass might just be counting down to his return once more. Wait, he's friends with who?
His personality flaws. Give me adequate cause to send him packing on a one-way trip so his prospects take a terminal dip. His assets frozen. The venue chosen is the ends of the earth. Alone.
Goodbye, see ya.
Ex-Prince Ali.
Alright, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities. It's time for the death battle!
My, what gall you have. I don't recall inviting guests.
I simply invited myself, Your Excellency. It is important to touch base with fellow sorcerers, wouldn't you agree?
You weren't wanted. Such arrogance to compare yourself to me.
Come now, I'm sure you can see things my way.
Is this your attempt at magic? Why, it's almost endearing in its own pathetic way. Hear me, Jafar of Agrabah. Before the sun sets on this day, your body will turn to but sand in an hourglass, and you shall die.
Well then, as long as awkward pleasantries are out of the way, let our dance begin. All right then, I see how it is.
Enough.
I'd say I underestimated you, but frankly, you've yet to warrant estimation at all.
You mortals are all the same.
Mortal, am I? We'll see about... You just never know when to quit, do you?
You've given me no reason to. We're done here. It would seem your time has run out. Some sorcerer you were. No foe can stand before me.
Please. You've never had a foe like me.
I know you can. You cannot kill me.
Perhaps. But you'd be surprised what you can live through.
If this is how you wish to play, then you shall fall to me and all the powers of hell! I said I know your kin, fool. And I know how to end you.
Oh, no, none of that.
No.
I must admit your parlor tricks are amusing, but this is so long.
Impossible. You can't do this.
But that's the beauty of it. I'm not... What was it you said again? My body will turn to but sand in an hourglass. Welcome, my faithful, to the ends of the earth.
KO! Well, looks like Mel's gonna be getting cozy with the God of the Dead herself now. This fight was an interesting comparison, to say the least. Yeah, unfortunately for Maleficent, things were pretty stacked against her, so at first it wouldn't seem that way. As a sorcerer, Maleficent could match and surpass Jafar in any number of ways. She was stronger, she was faster, she had more tricks up her sleeve, and she just would not stay dead. However, these clear-cut advantages would fall apart as soon as you factor in Jafar's genie form. Yeah, genies have a lot of power, to say the least. Having control over space and time will do that for you. Maleficent just really lacked any way to do meaningful damage to the genie, even with her magic. She could theoretically kill Jafar by destroying his lamp, but that's something Jafar could very easily safeguard, and something Maleficent wouldn't know about in the first place. Meanwhile, Jafar had any number of ways to do Maleficent in. Sure, he couldn't kill directly, but that rule is very liberal, as we've seen. There's also nothing stopping Jafar from creating an eclipse, something we know prevents fairies like Maleficent from using their magic. Maleficent's sorcery put Jafar's to shame, but against the might of a genie, she had no hope of holding her own. I'm sure she really wished she could win, instead of getting such an aggravating defeat, but the Dark Fairy ended up spinning out of her wheelhouse. The winner is Jafar.